guys, and welcome back to the weekly vlogs. So today I'm off to London again. I know, reoccurring theme of the vlogs. Callum, you're basically always in London. I know, I'm always in London, but I can't help it. It's just the way my life happens to be at the moment. I don't know. I'll be interested next week. A different place, I guess, but yes. So we're off to London because on Monday it was Sarah's birthday. Happy birthday, Sarah, for Monday. And for her birthday I got her tickets to go see Chicago the musical. Now she knows nothing about this because, like with my surprise, she didn't tell me what it was. So I've done the same because Calm's a bit of a bitch, I feel. So I haven't told her, and now she's trying to work out what it is. So to make it a little bit more exciting, because she could guess, I'm going to be dropping subtle hints throughout this whole vlog until she finds out, which is when we arrive at the theatre. So we're going to London, we're going to see Chicago. Normally Alexandra Burke plays Roxy Hart at the moment, and unfortunately she won't be playing Roxy Hart tonight as it's her 30th birthday this weekend, so she's taking a week off the role. But as far as I'm aware, we will still have Martin Kemp playing Billy Flynn. So yeah. I'm quite intrigued to see the musical. It's not something that's on the top of my list to go see, but I still want to see it. It's a very old school musical. It's very like classical musical theatre in the sense of like, it's back to how like musical theatre used to be done. It's not so big, spectacular kind of thing. It's very like old school kind of vibe. Sarah's wanted to see it for ages. It came to London beginning of this year, I believe, and she's wanted to see it since before then. So that's where we're going today, and obviously you guys are coming with me, so let's leave because I'm actually currently running late. So I'm finally on the train. Basically it was just a bus replacement until Lewis, and then I get my normal train. Sarah. Sarah's sister's just given birth, so congratulations, Amy.
This is why I look like an egg. I literally just left work and got changed and went to the hospital and hung out with my baby.
My baby.
My baby. She's basically mine.
We're going to do a theatre Q&A, so here's the first question.
Favourite musical and why? You go first.
Okay, my favourite musical is Muscial. I say this all the time, it's in my Q&A. I just really like the music, I like the story.
And he cries.
Yeah, I cry every time I watch it, so it must be doing something right.
Again, we've said this like 50 million times, but Les Mis, because it's sick rough. I don't know, it's the first musical I saw was Mamma Mia, but it's the first one that I saw once I was into theatre, like I was already acting and stuff. And my nan took me, and it's like her favourite show, and we've been every year since, so it's like a big deal to me. Any understudies that you've had that stand out to you? Mine would be, so for Kinky Boots, I had Jordan Fox playing Charlie, and oh my god, his voice was incredible. Another one that stands out to me is when I went to see Sister Act with my mum, and we were meant to have Alexandra Burke and we were really excited, and then we got to the theatre and found out we actually had an understudy because she doesn't do matinees, and the understudy was incredible. I don't know the name, but basically, right, so at the start of the year I went to see Les Mis to see Caris something. Basically I was a really big fan of the person playing Emily at the time, and I really wanted to see her. This was back in like March time, and when I got there we had an understudy and I was devastated because I literally booked it to see her, and that understudy just blew my mind. I like got over the fact that I'd had an understudy because she was so good. And another one is when I went to Hairspray, I had Leighton Williams as Seaweed, and I loved him since Bad Education, so that was like really exciting for me. So we've quickly changed the angle just because my arm was really aching. So okay, so an American musical you want to see? Dear Evan Hansen. I want to see it so bad. It is apparently coming to the UK, so we're waiting to hear about where that's going. Yeah, Waitress is already on its way. I was thinking Mean Girls, but that would probably tie Dear Evan Hansen now. But I don't know. Mean Girls is more me, but I think I'd fall in love with Dear Evan Hansen. If you could be in any show playing any character for the rest of your life, which would you pick? Why, when I wrote these questions, did I not think of my answer myself? I don't know. Mine would be Eponine. Okay, there you go. Eponine or Madame Thénardier. I'd want to play Eponine if I had the skill to play Eponine, but if I was stuck with my voice and my body and my dancing ability, I'd want to play Madame Thénardier. Okay, yeah. We'll go Heathers and we'll go like Kurt or Ram, because I can't think. And finally, a show you want to book next. Battle of Hell. We're booking Battle of Hell. Let's skip that because we're doing it. I can't say because I don't know what I'm doing today. Just say. Dreamgirls. I want to see Dreamgirls before it closes. Mine would be Chicago or Woman in Black. Nice.
Also, what I was thinking when we had the American question, when we went to America, is there any other places that you wish you went?
I don't know, America's a big place.
So you don't have
Las
a
Vegas? No? I'm not really bothered about America, it's other places much, I like Europe.
And someone and a babe. So we have just arrived in London. We're like just got off at Leicester Square, and actually we're outside the cinema. I went to my first London World premiere, and you should go check out our vlog because link is in the bio.
Plug.
We only have 2 hours until Sarah finds out the surprise. That is exciting. She thinks she knows. I think she knows. But we'll see. She doesn't. But we'll see. So it's like silly one. There's like one more, isn't there? Okay. I actually hate when it rains in London. Like, I love London. I think London's great, but when it rains, it's just shite. Do you not agree?
Huh?
Like London in rain.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
I like the rain, but I like the rain when I'm at home.
Yeah,
Or,
I love the rain. When I'm sleeping, my head looks gross,
Yeah,
sorry.
movie day.
When I'm sleeping and you've got the rain hitting on like the glass and stuff like that, love it. But like, I
Rain
can't.
is my favourite weather, but London is somewhere where you want to just be able to
London
walk.
just isn't good in the rain.
It's already so crowded, you don't need the rain pissing everyone off.
Exactly, and it's all like sticky.
And making like, every shop crowded.
Yeah, because people just flood into shops. Like we were leaving McDonald's and we couldn't get out, and it was like so awkward. Sarah told me there was like a really cool Harry Potter section in Primark, and I was expecting like minimal, like little side bit. This is it.
Well, cool.
You look great, Sarah. Okay, so we're gonna make our way to the theatre, which is actually behind us, Sarah, because we're going to Chicago.
I knew
Yeah,
it.
boy. I was gonna say, did you know?
Thank
What
you.
was the clue?
You said on the train. Oh, one more question. If you were in New York, where else would you want to visit?
Well, actually,
How, if you hadn't said you were going to Hindu guys?
maybe you did get that clue, but it never happened because the clue didn't happen.
Yeah, but then you were like-
actually, I clued at another one.
And then-
I said my favourite for my understudy, the sister act, I had someone else instead of Alexandra Burke. Now, Alexandra Burke is currently playing Roxy Hart in Chicago, but we don't have her tonight because
Is she
she's
in this?
yeah, she's in Chicago playing Roxy Hart. But unfortunately,
even
we don't
know
have
that.
her tonight. But we do have Martin Kemp playing Billy Flynn.
One of the mums at nursery went to see us today, and I was like, oh, I love Chicago. Like, oh, there's not many costume changes. They just put a really negative vibe on it. So,
I said it's a very old school musical in the sense that it's very like how musical theatre used to
yeah.
be.
There was a guy that we learned about at school, Bob Fosse.
Yeah. 'Cause that's who-
Very jazz hands, so I'm looking forward to it because we did loads about Chicago at school for GCSE.
And since it's come here, you said you wanted to see it.
Yeah, me and my mum saw it ages ago, not the show, but the theatre. We were like, oh my god, oh my god.
So yeah, we're gonna go pick up tickets because that's what we need to do. That's why I told her so early. But yes, it's exciting. Unfortunately, we had loads of like audience problems. We had loads of people trying to take photos. Like it was the worst I've ever had for it. Like it was really, really bad. But the show itself was really good. Let's see what Theatre Cow has to say. Welcome back to Theatre Review Time. Sorry about that. Hello and welcome back to Theatre Review Time. I am here, Theatre Cow. I hope you enjoyed the vlog with Vlogger Cow, but now it is time to review. As you know, went to go see Chicago the Musical. It was a really great show. I will talk more about the audience later, but that was a big downfall for my overall experience. But yes, the classic story was amazing. Yes, let's get on to the review. So the casting for Chicago. So, at the moment, Alexandra Burke is playing the role of Roxy Hart. Now, unfortunately, we did not get the opportunity to see Alexandra Burke as Roxy Hart, but we did see Sarah Sotoretti play the role of Roxy Hart, and she was incredible. She had a great characteristics, she was very giddy and cheeky, it was perfect. I couldn't ask for a better one, to be honest. And then in the role of Velma Kelly, we had Josephine Gabriella, who was sensational. Her voice was so nice. It was really incredible to watch her. As well as that, playing matron Mama Mortimer, we had Maz Murray. Now, she blew my socks off at one point. She was so good. Her character was completely there. I was in love with her character so much. Like, it was incredible to watch. Like, wow. And then we had Martin Kemp playing Billy Flynn. Now, I was nervous to see this because I'd heard a lot of good stuff about it, and I thought, oh, they're only raving because it's Martin Kemp kind of thing. They were raving because it was incredible, not because it was Martin Kemp. Wowza. Just the whole presence of him. It was all very good, I'll tell you. It was all very good. I was very impressed. That was our leading cast, and for the casting, I am going to give it a 9 out of 10. And that is only because I am intrigued to see what Alexandra Burke would bring to the role of Roxy Hart. And obviously, having not seen that, and that is who is actually cast in it at the moment, I want to just lower my mark slightly, just in case I went to see it again and saw it with Alexandra Burke or another star playing Roxy and had a better experience. But yes, for casting, I will give it a 9 out of 10, which will appear in the leaderboard right here. Now on to set. This was one of the biggest downfalls I feel for the show. So the set is basically non-existent, to be honest. They have ladders that come out at the side, they use props and chairs, lighting, they use a little bit of like tassel-y kind of stuff, but it is very much that the musicians are all on the stage and they just perform in front of new musicians, and I feel like with that we had to make up where they were and how the scenic looked in a sense, and I'm a very big believer that set takes you somewhere else as well as the characters, and although I still got where they were and made up in my own mind, I would quite like to see it with a bit of set going on and all that. But the set was very clever, the way that there were loads of doors and loads of entrances and stuff from the musicians bit. That was very clever, I did like that. So for set, I am only going to give it a 5 out of 10, but that is mainly because there wasn't any set to really judge, to be honest, but the set was very clever, so I will give it a 5 out of 10, which will appear on the leaderboard right here. And now we're going to move on to lighting. As I said, lighting was one of the only things that really created the sense of set and like where they were. They created like cell lines across the stage. And there was like a really good light when Roxy appeared at the beginning, when Martin Kemp was on stage doing Razzle Dazzle and all that. It was really, the lighting was really good for that. Then they had really good spots on everyone. So the lighting itself brought a lot on that obviously the set didn't, because we didn't have much set. So I'm going to give a lighting an 8 out of 10, which will appear on the leaderboard right here. Now we're going to go on to sound. The sound was amazing. There was obviously a live orchestra, as I said, on stage. It was incredible. There's a very exciting bit at the beginning of the second half that is literally about 5 minutes of just the orchestra, and that was probably one of my favourite parts of the show. All of the vocals were on point. My favourite song in the show was We Both Reach for the Gun. The whole, like, staging, the whole characteristics of her being a puppet, the vocals were so good, so make sure if you go see the show to watch out for that, because that was such a good number. So, for sound, I am going to give it a 9 out of 10, because I was very impressed with the live music, and I was very impressed with all the vocals. So that will appear on the leaderboard right here. Now, since the last review, I noticed I didn't put in choreography, and I think choreography is 100% deserved in Chicago, so let's add choreography to the leaderboard. So, choreography. choreography was incredible. Incredible. It was so good. On point, everything to the T, nothing more needed. So good. If you want to see a show of choreography, go see that show. Choreography, top notch. 10 out of 10. Put that on the leaderboard. So the original choreography is done by Bob Fosse, and everyone knows him for his choreography. So that is why the choreography is easily a 10 out of 10, and that is why the choreography is a 10 out of 10 on the leaderboard. So make sure you go see the show, even if it's just for the choreography, because it is incredible. Now moving on to story. So the story of the show is very simple, it's very basic. A celebrity in prison trying to get out. Pretty simple. Fighting to get out, she makes up lies. Does she get out? You tell me. If you know the story, then you know. If you don't, you don't. It's very simple, very easy to read. Again, I would have preferred set to help carry the story, although they do have an announcer in the show that kind of announces which each song is about and what everything's going on kind of thing. So you do get a real sense of the story, but I would have liked set to bring the story to life a little bit. So, for story, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Put that on the leaderboard. And finally, my overall experience. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. So, I am very disappointed with my overall experience, to be honest. All credits to the show, like, all those scores are going to stay the same, absolutely, because the show itself was incredible. But my experience as an audience member, I was so shocked. The whole way through the show, we had problems with people taking photos, people trying to record, people talking, and it was just, it's the worst I've ever had for that kind of stuff. The front of house team were doing their best to try and stop it, but it just wasn't controllable. There were so many people. We had 2 people in the second half, right at the beginning, that got kicked out because of it, and then we heard rowing in the background. So I've actually contacted the theatre to discuss about this, because I was quite disappointed with how it was all dealt with. We had an argument in the aisle in our interval. It was just a bit chaotic. During the show, and like watching the show itself, amazing, incredible, and I'm sure this doesn't happen every night. I'm sure it was just coincidental that it happened on the night I came, you know. But obviously this is about my experience, this is my review, so it does bring it down a bit. But where I was sat, amazing seats, I could see everything. I was sat on a back row, which meant that I could lean forward and I could do my own thing with my head and not worry about people behind me. So that made me feel a lot more comfortable, and there was no restricted view. Like, I can't imagine any seat in that theatre really had a restriction, to be honest. Maybe in the stalls somewhere, but I had perfect view. I could see everyone, facial expressions, everything. So yeah, I would 100% go to that theatre again. But I did want to like email someone and be like, look, this is happening kind of thing, because I don't want someone else to have the experience that I had in that theatre. So for the overall experience, I am going to give it a 7 out of 10, and that is on the leaderboard. I wish I could mark it higher, but I was so disappointed in my audience that I had, and I think you pay money to go to the theatre to see the show, so sit and watch the show. I'm actually thinking of doing, Theatre is thinking of doing a video on my like pet peeves in the theatre and all that kind of stuff. So let me know if you're interested in that. Let me know in the bio, or send me a PM if you're like friends or whatever, and let me know if you're down for me to do that, because I would really like to talk about some of the stuff that like annoys me in the theatre, because that's quite a lot. But yes, overall Chicago was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. Yeah, I'm really impressed with the show. So going through the leaderboard one last time, we give casting a 9 out of 10, set a 5 out of 10, lighting an 8 out of 10, sound a 9 out of 10, choreography a 10 out of 10, story an 8 out of 10, and overall experience a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you very much for watching Theatre Review Time, and I'll see you again at the next theatre vlog. Goodbye! Theatre Review Time! Over and out. Thank you very much, Theatre Review Cal. We'll see you again very soon. But for now, that is it for the weekly vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Hit the bell to make sure you get notifications when I post. And I'll see you again next week. Goodbye!